Hello everybody, welcome to this video about knots. I'm gonna do 5 sets of 2 knots that I use a lot in the woods, and you can imagine somebody throwing a rope to you which has nothing at the ends, just plain rope, and they ask you to put up a tarp line or maybe something else for volleyball or whatever. And so let's go and look at the first 2 knots. Alright, the first knot is a quick release knot, and I think I picked it up from Ray Mears. You put the rope around with the loose end on your hand, and then you wrap it around once on the outside. You make a loop upwards, yeah? So you turn your finger upwards, you grab this end and you tie it, and now you have a slip knot that is pretty decent. It doesn't come undone, and you can quick release it when you want to go. So for now I'm just gonna leave it, because this is knot number 1, a quick release knot. And if you doubt if this will come undone, you can put a stick in here and, you know, tighten it like that, or you loop this through, you know, and secure it like this for extra security. But either way, it's a quick release knot and it's pretty tight. Okay, let's go to the other side. Okay, for knot number 2 here, on the other side, you wrap your rope around it. This is the loose end. We're gonna do the trucker hitch. So we need a loop. We grab the rope that forms a loop, and you make a loop like this towards the tree, yeah? And that way you have that loop in that direction, because if you pull it in this way, it tightens and it's very quick release. That's the easy part. So you grab it uncomfortably, you make the loop, you pull it through, and I hope that is visible on camera. Then you pull the rope through the loop that you created, and of course then we create the trucker hitch. Then you pull your rope tight, you pinch it, and then you just put in a bite, just for security reasons. And I'll show you an alternative in a minute. But you can think like, you can also do the taut line knot here and then slide and then pull this tight as well. So you can use another knot here as well. So here it is, the trucker hitch on this side and the quick release knot on the other side, and that is combination number 1. So let's go to combination number 2. Okay, for combination number 2, we need to make a bowline at one end. So imagine that somebody gives you a rope and it has a loop on one end, fixed loop. So we're going to make that. We're going to make a loop like so. And I just pinch it. This is my line, and the rabbit comes out of the hole, goes around the tree and goes back into the hole, which is not so weird here in Sweden. And you got yourself a bowline. Yeah, so imagine you get a line with a bowline. You can see where this is going, right? So let's go for knot number 1. That is a no-brainer, and that's especially nice if the rope is not too big, or maybe it's already tied up, but you just put it around the tree and you pull the rest through. Yeah, that is really, I mean, I know that's not much of a knot, but there you go. And it's on the tree. It's very simple, it's very tight, yeah? And there's nothing wrong with that. So let's go to the other side. And we're gonna make that a simple one as well. We're gonna just take the rope around. Yeah, we're gonna take it underneath. So now we can tie it, and if you start here, you can really tie it down. So it's really pretty tight, enough for a tarp. You go around the tree, yeah, and now you just put in a bite. And there you go, you have your tarp line with 2 very simple, yeah, well, can you call it knots? It's a bowline on one end, you run it through the loop, and here you do just the simple around the tree knot. So one more time. So you put your line around the tree, over it, underneath, back around the tree, and now I just put in, you know, I just put in a bite, and voila. Alright, so that is combination number 2 in the line. So let's go to number 3. Okay, for combination number 3, we did the bowline and we pulled the whole rope through. Remember, that was the combination number 2. But that is, of course, sometimes not wanted, because you don't know what's on the other end of the line. Maybe there is a ring or an anchor or whatever you need to pull through, and maybe it doesn't fit. So a quick solution to that is that you just take your bowline or your loop or your ring or whatever is on this side. You take this one and you make a bite through. You put a toggle in, or a tent stake, or whatever you have lying around, and you pull that tight. Yeah, so now you still have sort of your line through the bowline, but you use a toggle or a stick or a tent stake or whatever you have to tie this down. Yeah, so this will hold as well. Now let's go to the other side. On the other side we're going to use a friction knot or a friction thingy. So you put the rope around a tree, which is nothing new. You pull it underneath. Yeah, I'm gonna run it through there for a minute. So, and now instead of just pulling it, you're gonna run the rope a few times around the line, around the tree. This works better with a big tree. So maybe for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna do it 3 times, because otherwise it will take forever with this line. And now I'm just gonna tie this and pull on the rope and tie this down, and what you will have is that this will self-tighten. So when I let go of this, the rope is tensioned. It's not the best of tension, but with a bigger tree, trust me, it will work. And of course, if you don't trust this, you can do this one, the one we did in combination number 1 or 2, I don't remember, but around the tree. Yeah. Okay, so combination 4. Imagine you have a line with toggles. Now in this case, one is fixed and the other one has a loopy thingy. And so, you know, some people use those toggles. So let's see what we can do with this. Let's start with the fixed toggle, because you know, that one is the easiest. You put it around the tree, you go over and then underneath, putting the toggle there, and then you just tie it, and you get the picture. The toggle will hold the line in place. Now this one I saw, I think I saw this from Dan as well. But okay, so let's go to the other side, because I'm taking all the half the bush with me. We're gonna do a trucker hitch again. So, but now we're gonna do a different solution with securing it. So we have our, what the hell is that? Oh, a branch and another branch. Yeah, nice in the forest. All right, so we do the trucker hitch again. We grab this uncomfortably. We grab the loop, and we have our loop. Now this time we're gonna use a different approach, because the toggle, and I can see that I have a little bit too much rope, so I'm gonna work it this way. So the toggle is now around here, and oh, this loop is a little bit small, so I'm gonna make a bigger one. Alright, so a bigger loop. You're gonna put the toggle in, and now when you tighten it, you have a oh, is it looped around? I really make a mess of things. with the ropes. Well, but you get the idea. You now have that self-tensioning toggle system. And there you go, you have a very nice line. And the beauty of this is that this toggle is always at the right place because it moves around. No matter where it is, you can always adjust it. So I believe you can just untie it by twisting it, and there you go. Take out the rope, the slack. So let's do that again, because I think this is for some people maybe a little bit. Alright, so you get a line with a toggle, and it's a movable toggle, so it doesn't matter where it is. And when you pinch it like this, you can make it secure by pulling it through a loop. You may also know this as the way to secure a blanket or what have you. And all you have to do now is just tie this down. Oh, it doesn't really want, like this. Pull, 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 and it's really tight. And if you really think, well, it's gonna slide, then just put in a bite as a backup. And this one is really tight. So you use the trucker hitch again in combination with a toggle on the other side, but it works really well, and all you need is 2 branches and a hole in the stick. Alright? Alright, so let's go to combination number 5. This one is one of my favorites because it's so simple and it's fun to do. So what you do is you put the rope underneath like you would with the other example that I showed you. You make a loop in the rope and you put a bite through, and then you tie it. So this is the knot that you get, and that is a really nice one because it's of course easy to undo and it's really tight. So let's tie this one on this end, loop through, tie it, and you have a very beautiful knot. And if you want to secure it, you can either run this end through just so you have a little bit more security, or you put a toggle in here and you tie that down and you're good to go. So let's go to the other side of the tree. Yeah. Okay, for the last knot we're gonna use a toggle, and I got this from Blackie Outdoors. I don't know, his channel is something like that. I will put it in the description. You basically make a loop and you put it around. Oh, it slipped. So again, you make a loop and you put it around and you tie it like so. Yeah, so that it is tight. And then you make another loop and you put that one in as well. So you give it a twist and you pull it. Oh. So what you end up with, if you do this, is something like this. And you see that I made notches in the toggle so that it is nice and that it doesn't slip, especially if the wood is wet. And then you pull this tight. So what you now have is your toggle, and you can actually put that around and around, and then you can just tie this down, and this will tie. Oh, I think I need to, yeah, so tighten it and then put it around here. Yeah, and you tighten that, and this will self-tighten and this will stay, and then you have your tarp line connected with that simple toggle. Yeah, I remove my toggle here so you can see it, but that is the way you cinch it. You can just cinch it down and it self-tightens. Okay, so it started to rain outside very hard and we had to get inside because the camera was getting wet and stuff. But I hope I've given you some options to put up a tarp line. Of course, I didn't come up with these knots myself. You know, I used a lot of videos like Ray Mears, Paul Kirtley, Dan Wowak, Dave Canterbury, etc, etc. These guys put out amazing content, and hopefully this will help you as well. Alright, so thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.